Oregon is on fraud alert. They are. We all might be wrong about who Oregon is. Oregon needed to hold on. I repeat, hold on to beat Idaho. No, Idaho, Idaho. Look, they were a 45.5-point favorite going into this game. We expected Oregon to score at will. As a matter of fact, Ole Miss beat Furman 76-0. I watched Arkansas put 70 up on UAPB. I watched Tennessee beat the brakes off of Chattanooga. That's what I expected from a team that we all expect to be in the college football playoff and compete in the Big Ten championship game. That's not what we got. What we got was a fizzle from one of the best teams that money can buy, as everybody likes to throw around that term all of a sudden, like everybody ain't spending money on their players. But an Idaho team that wasn't bad last year. They were 9-4. For perspective, Chattanooga was 8-5. Now, did Idaho beat an FBS opponent last year? Yeah. It was Nevada. They beat Nevada 33-6. Nevada wasn't nobody. Nevada wasn't no good. And yet they showed up to Autzen and they gave the Oregon Ducks the what for and the how now. And all I've been hearing from Ducks fans is how I've been underestimated. I'm like, I got you ranked as number 4 team in the country. What are you talking about? Get out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm looking at it, I see a Ducks team that led Idaho, the Vandals, 17-14 deep into the fourth quarter. And an Idaho team that damn near came up with a play to go get it if they don't throw a pick at the end. We're talking about them having an opportunity to make this a one-score game, maybe get the ball back, make something happen. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with Oregon right now. Do we get to treat this like a fluke? Because we're not going to treat Clemson like a fluke. They got the brakes beat off of them 34-3 against Georgia. Is Oregon good enough to beat Georgia? Is Oregon going to be a top 12 team at the end of this? We'll see. I think there's a lot of people that are going to bend themselves into different directions to try to make Oregon into a number 4 team tomorrow. Don't think that's going to be me. Don't think that's going to be me. In a sport where everybody wants to say, RJ, but it's Temple with Oklahoma. RJ, but it's Murray State with Mizzou. RJ, but it's Chattanooga with Tennessee. RJ, but it's Furman with Ole Miss. Idaho was playing toe-to-toe with Oregon. What am I supposed to do with that? Except say maybe Oregon is not that good? I mean, that's what we're left here with, right? We don't get to take these wins at face value. It's not good enough that people just beat the brakes off of other people and run up the score, not meaning to run up the score. I mean, they had 10-minute quarters in the second half of the Arkansas game against UAPB. I don't know what else you're supposed to tell them to do. Jimmy Johnson used to put it right. It's like the backups want to score too. You know, if we got better Jimmys than your Joes, that's your problem. That's not ours. So what am I supposed to take? That Idaho can compete in the Big Ten? I don't think that's what you're doing, because that's not what I'm doing. I looked at an Oregon team that could put up all sorts of yards and couldn't finish. I mean, we're talking about an Oregon team that had a passer in Dylan Gabriel who went for over 360. Could not punch it in. Yeah, if you can't finish against Idaho, how the hell are you going to finish against Ohio State? I understand that Ohio State trailed to Akron by 3. Get out of here, man. I just don't understand that you could expect Oregon to really be this good and somehow make this performance just go away, sweep it under the rug as if it doesn't matter. Nah, man, they all got to matter or none of them matter. They all got to matter or none of them matter. And I realize that we also live in a world where there's so many college football fans that claim to love college football that don't believe in scoreboards, that you win every game, that you should get an opportunity to play for a championship. But even that, this right here is asinine. If you're going to throw out Temple getting beat like a drum by Oklahoma 51-3, but you're going to say that Oregon had an off day because they managed to win a game 24-14 in a game they were supposed to win by 45.5. I can't trust you to tell me nothing. And what's your word worth? What's your integrity worth? Come on now. Everybody want to yank on somebody's card here. Yank on your own. Tell me what you think of Oregon. Tell me how you're going to make Oregon work for you. Tell me how you're going to make a 24-14 win against a team that may not even be in its own conference championship in the FCS. Make that work for me. Tell me how that's good. I don't think you can. You shouldn't need a late interception to beat Idaho. You should name the number against Idaho. If you wanted to score 100 against Idaho, that's what you should be doing. Instead, I got to look at Oregon, and I got to see who they're facing next week in Boise State, and I got to make a judgment on that. Because I don't know if any of y'all are noticing, but it's not just that Maddox Madsen had beaten out Malachi Nelson for the starting job at Boise State. It's that he also sent Taylon Green into the transfer portal to Arkansas. So that's one. Maddox Madsen might actually be a dude. Number two is they got a dude. They got a stone cold dude at Boise State. I didn't make a habit of putting a bunch of group of 5 players in my top 100 superstars that came out last Monday at Fox Sports. Go check that out. But that dude was on the list. And you know why he was on the list? Because that man went for 267 rush yards and 6 TDs against Georgia Southern today. Today. He got his head coach, Spencer Danielson, saying, I don't think I need to say the quiet part out loud, but I will. I got the best player in the country in the backfield for me. And who's to say he doesn't? Who's to say he doesn't? Boise State was the trendy pick to make the college football playoff as the group of 5 representative. I don't know if I'm following with that. But when you're putting up 56 and you got an Ashton Janty and they don't, that's something to absolutely crow about. Dirk Cotter knows what he got back there. He ain't going to do nothing but hand that boy the ball. That's what I would do. That's what you would do. I would say, I got AJ and you do not. So I'm going to run him. And I'm going to run him straight at you. And I'm going to make you so sick and tired of AJ that you want to quit. I'm going to have your peer has conceded in Ultimate Team. I'm going to have your peer has been kicked for excessive grieving because I got Ashton Janty. All to say, if you give me Ashton Janty going for 200 against Oregon, I'm going to give Boise State the win. I don't see you getting off to no damn slow start against Boise State with that boy in the backfield and expect to come from behind. Not with what I saw against Idaho today. How? How, Sway? How? I don't see it. I simply do not see it. I see an Oregon team that better get itself figured out quick, fast, and in a hurry. The fury that you showed last year when Colorado had the audacity to show up to Autzen 3-0, where the hell was that against Idaho today? I would like to know. I would really like to know. Where was the fury that you showed to get yourselves to the Pac-12 championship last year? There's a lot of folks out there in Oregon that be talking all sorts of big. Okay, it's time to go be big. You in the Big Ten, represent. I mean, you got it. You got the number 3 team in the country on the ropes against Idaho. Meanwhile, you have an opponent that can't wait to play you next week because now they feel they got a dude that can run right through you like a hot knife through butter. Tell me how you reconcile that, Ducks fans. Tell me who's to blame for that. I'll believe you. Tell me what you mean when you say, hey, it was not, what had happened was, I don't want to hear none of that. Did you win? Yeah, by 10 points in a game you're supposed to win by 45 and a half. What's up with this, man? What are we doing? What are we doing, Oregon? Are we just going to be waiting for the Ohio State game to make a judgment, or are we going to do this right now? Because I'm looking at these scores, and I'm seeing Ole Miss going, we're leaving no doubt. I saw Jackson Dart go for 400 yards and 5 tutties in the first damn half. I saw Nico Iamaleava go for 314 in the first half. Set a record at Tennessee for the most passing yards by a quarterback in the first half of football. Hell, I watched Shedeur Sanders go for 445. I watched Jimmy Horn go for 198. What did you do with all this yardage that you put up? You scored 24 points against the Vandals. What am I going to do with that? I can't get jiggy with that. I can't walk into Pinky's Records with that. I'm going to get laughed at. And if you're a Ducks fan and you in here, I would love to know what you're thinking about, dog. You got to go to church tomorrow and you got to talk about, damn, y'all 17-14 Idaho, 5 minutes left to go in the game. Something going on up there. Something y'all want to talk about? Phil Knight not pay the right people? That's what I be doing, man. I be thinking about who got to go to church the next day and get to wear their tie. You're not going to wear your Oregon tie to church tomorrow. Don't lie. Tell the truth. Shame the devil. That's not what you're going to do. You going to put on you a nice blue tie. You're going to wear you a gray suit. You're going to try to blend right in. No, I hope to hell the Washington fan finds you and says, hey, don't walk by me at the greeting line. You come shake my hand. Come on now. Come on now. I need to know. I need you to tell me right here, right now, in the sanctuary, on the way to the pew, what had happened to Dan Lanning. What'd y'all miss? 14-0 at half, 14-7 third, damn near losing to Idaho. Man, get out of here, dog. Get out of here.